what's been on my mind. Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city light.
Hello and welcome to Rich Biz Life's Adventures. Now, I hope you've had a brilliant Christmas and a really fantastic start to the new year. I'm in my scruffs, so that can only mean one thing. I'm going to do some more work on the van. What we're up to now is getting these cupboard doors put on the van, on the overhead lockers. So I've got to now nip over to B&Q, our local B&Q, and go and buy some hinges and various other bits and bobs. So I'll go and get that done first. Fits.
Just.
Let's go. And we're back. Right, so I've been and bought some concealed hinge, sprung hinges. Basically the same as what you have on a kitchen door at home. So you have to drill a hole, or forcing a hole into the back of the cupboard door, and it keeps them hidden and flush, so that when you have the door shut you don't see no hinges. Same as a kitchen door. Now let me just open them. These are what I got. B&Q, £2.90 for a pack of 2, and they're sprung, so if I make the doors light enough they might even stay open. I don't know. If I have to put some little gas strips on it or something, I don't know. But anyway, got these. Excuse my teeth. And these are small ones. They did do bigger ones. These are 26mm. They did do some bigger ones, but I was figuring the doors are not going to be that big, you know. What are they, 550, 600, I can't remember the measurements now, by about 350. And then with the shaker style I'm going to build a timber frame and then route her out, and that'll be 15mm thick, so it makes it the same thickness as a kitchen door, which will then give me this thickness here, a little bit more, a little bit meat on it. And then I'll do some 3mm insert panelling after I've routed some bit out the back, and what that should do is it should keep the cupboard doors nice and light but strong. Now I can't just screw that area there straight to the roof of the van, because as you can appreciate that bit there is lower than that, and then by the time you get an extra bit of meat on there for the cupboard door, it's going to end up hitting the ceiling. And then on the same note, when it's in the shut position you end up with that bit lower. So I've been and bought some 25mm timber battening, and it's 60mm wide I think, which works out about right. I'll screw that along the roof inside these dividers. Then that will give me somewhere to mount that and screw that face to up under the ceiling, with leaving enough. It'll all become clear, I'm waffling, but it'll give me enough clearance then for the cupboard door to come on this face here and pivot. Basically I've got to pack that down. So once we got the battening on the roof, to pack that down for that height difference and that height difference, basically means the door won't bind up on the roof. It should give it a mil or two, or a couple of mil, just to clear the roof. So once that's on there, I've been and bought this off Amazon. I think it's about £2, £2.50. You can get more better ones. Craig, like as in the Craig hole, you know, the drill that you put onto the side pocket hole jig. Craig do one as well. They're about £80. I don't really need one when I can do this. Basically, you put that on the edge of your wood, and then you've got holes. There's a little stencil mark as well that you do, you're forcing a bit, so you got your holes and your centres and everything like that you mark out, and it gives you your position. And then when you want to do the other bit that mounts to the other side, you mark it the other way, and then that can, I don't know if it's picking up on camera or not, might not be, it might be a bit dark, but then that shows for this end. So bear with me a second, I don't know if that's showing, the holes there lining up with the holes in the plastic, is it? I don't really know, don't know if you can see that. So that's for that one, that end, and then when you switch it around the other way, you can see, maybe not see, but you got some more rounds, and that lines up with the round that you have to do that where you're forcing a bit. And then you got your 2 holes for these 2 holes. So it all makes it line up real nice. Just takes the guesswork out of it. And then you got a centre mark as well. So, excuse me, once you've built your doors, you put them up to where you want them, and you put a line of 2 across the 2 from the ceiling and the door. I'm really waffling now, I understand. And that puts the centre marks of where you want the hinges. That centre mark lines up with there. You put dot dot for one hinge, you turn it round onto the door, you've still got your centre mark, lines up with the bottom of that triangle, dot dot for the other way. You know exactly where you're drilling your holes. For the sake of a couple of quid, and I've used it many a times, it's not put me wrong. So I'll get started. Stop waffling, get on. Right, so I'm going to measure how big I need the pieces of wood. The first one, I need it 470mm. Now I know these cupboards are not exactly equal, which is why I've not gone for kitchen pre-made units. My carpentry skills is what lets me down, so I've basically made these, and then I'm going to bespoke make each cupboard door to suit each section. So it's not even square, which is going to mess me up. I don't really know. It's this bit. This bit has got a lean, and that's probably got a lean as well. Yeah, they've both got a lean on them, so that's going to make life pretty difficult. Now I don't know what I'm going to do with the, is it showing on camera here? Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with this door here yet. I don't want to go and do the door all the way to there, and then I end up having the door sticking out. Do you see what I mean? You won't be able to open that all the way because it'll catch on that. So what I might do is put a batten of wood along there, and then bring the door in. Yeah, the cupboard door in, so that when I open it, it clears that door if I put a door on there as well. So I'll do that. I'm going to put a 25mm batten on there, and then as we know, I just said the door I'm going to do 15mm thick, so if I do a door there, it's going to be no more than 15. The 25mm batten that I've bought is going to pack it out enough. Right, 475 is the first cut I'm going to do. Right guys, here's my first cut. See how it goes. Well, it's tight, but that's sort of what I want. Right, so I'll just tap that back in place, and I'll secure it with a couple of screws, and that should be good to go. But I've got to make sure it's level with the end of this, and then equivalent to that side there. Right, got that frame in there. What that does, that means I can bring that door out a bit to clear this door, but it won't let me see into there. Do you know what I mean? So once all this is painted white, it'll mean that you can't see down there. So on this one, I only need to do the top one. So just double check the measurements there. Yeah, that's nice tight fit as well, it's like the other one. And then on, can you see me? On this one here, I've got to pack it out as well because I've got this corner architrave, and I don't want it so that when I hinge it up, it hits that. But I am going to double check, because if I don't need to do one, then I won't. But I'm going to double check that when it swings out, it doesn't get anywhere near that. So if I get my, let's just use this. Right, it's, just pivot that. I'll clear it anyway, so I don't need to pack that out. It will miss that anyway, so I can just do one along the top there on that and not worry about that end, which is quite good because it's less weight. Hello, welcome back. It's been a couple of weeks now since you saw me put the strips of wood for the hinges up along the roof of the cupboard area in the van. Now it comes a time where I've got to make the cupboard doors. Now, as you know, these are the sort of cupboard doors I put on the kitchen. As you know, we cheated a little bit on the kitchen. We bought kitchen calces and adapted them to fit and bought cupboard doors. It's just easier when we was up against the clock to go into Scotland. And we chose a cupboard door that's fairly easy to replicate plus lightweight. And the reason I'm not using these style doors or buying these doors for the overhead lockers is because they're an awkward size. Had I known, I would have made them the cupboard overhead lockers to fit these, but it works out costly anyway. These are about 50 quid each, and I can make them for less than that. So I chose a design that was shaker style, but basically I've got 3mm ply for the insert, which would make it nice and light, and then the strength will come from the timber framing. Now what I'll do is, before I cut the lengths of batten, I'll router out enough on the back of the battens of wood for a 3mm ply, and then I'll make the frame in a similar design with long uprights and then a short infill on each bit. Then I'm going to try and pocket hole screw a couple of times on the inside, but I'm not sure if the wood battens I've got are thick enough to take a pocket hole screw. I'll try on a scrap piece first, and if it don't work, then I'll glue it and staple it a few times. Once that glue's gone off, that'll be quite good, and I can either leave the staples in, or I can tap them in a little bit further and put a little flick of filler over it. I can just leave them, they'll be on the inside anyway. So that's what we're going to try and replicate, see if my carpentry skills live up to it, and stay tuned to see if I do. Let's get started. Decided not to router it. We decided to run it through the table saw, which leaves a groove, which means we can slot the inner panel in the middle, which would give us actually more bonding surface to hold the frame together. You can see what I mean. They look better. So we just got to do all bits of that.
My idea.
Debbie's idea. She's clever, old stick, isn't she?
scruffy. And
Never,
he stands the other end. Look. Nothing.
never let it be said that Debbie don't help and get all dirty for you.
I'm the dirty one. Look, everywhere. Look. Gross.
Right guys, I'm going to show you the best I can. Seems I've not cut nothing to length yet. But you got that slot in there. That 3.6mm ply. And then hopefully that just slots in there. You can see it just slots in there. And then we can construct our frame around it and glue it all together. So we're on track. We now just got to cut the right lengths of this stuff and this stuff. Right, I've been and double checked the first locker we're doing, and the upright wants to be 275, and then the overall length wants to be 595. So what I'll do when I'm cutting this one, I'll deduct the length of two of those off the end of that one, cut those, and then cut those at 275. So I'll set the fence now to 275. I'll double check that. Good double dig, so that's 265. Right, so it's got to be secured and glued yet. It's just me holding this together. But that's the effect. I don't think we're too dissimilar. If Debbie gets that other grey bit on the kitchen and the dining table.
Oh, look, and here's one I made.
Yeah, his and hers. So I don't think we're, I mean, when it all gets clamped and glued in the right places, I don't think we're too dissimilar. I think we're quite close. And then it's all going to be painted up and we'll be good. So I'm going to set about gluing and screwing this. I won't show you every single one we're doing because you've seen it once, you've seen it all. So I'll show you me gluing it all together and clamping it, and then that's it. We'll show you the finished product after we're about to do the hinges. Running out of glue as always.
Yeah, what he didn't tell you is I asked when we was in Wickes, do we need any more glue? No, we've got plenty.
That's not entirely true, it's B&Q.
No, it was Wickes.
Tomato.
Anyway, he still said we didn't need any.
Right, so running a bit of glue down here. Put a bit on the end as well. Bit on the end. Push it all together. Right. Now hopefully that's electric stapler. Hopefully I can bridge the gap and staple it without destroying the wood. It's Debbie's idea if it does. For some reason it's banging two at a time, I don't know. some reason it's putting 2 in at a time, but it's only to hold one of the glue sets. A little bit of sanding, a little bit of filler work, the job done, nice and sturdy. That's it. I'll wipe off the excess glue now and we'll go and try it in place in the van.
Yay.
That's one down. It only took us a whole Saturday, including a bit of housework and shopping. So,
And 3 hours to find the tools.
yeah, got to sort the garage out.
Hey darling, can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city light.